Okay, back on the record again. Got some more parts. Got a sexy new grill that's not quite straight, but it was cheap. It's a lot cheaper than the other grill that was on German eBay. And I've got some nylon and all the bits I need to try and remake this bush. Let's see if I can show you down here. Let's put this pin down. That is just a hole where once was a bush. So I'm hoping I can make something that ball will clip into and retain it from the other side. With a bit of luck, that'll all be golden. Otherwise it'll be a complete nightmare. But you know, wish me luck. Let's see how we go. Got to chop this down a wee bit first. Take some measurements. Then I've got some new shocks to put in. And some other bits and pieces. I can see how stiff the front suspension really is. Yeah, let's get cracking. Alright, I'm going to see how nylon lays. Never tried it before. Yes, I know the lathe needs a damn good clean. But hey ho, let's give this a go. Okay, turning some sketchy measurements into something. Just going to go, done my main pilot hole into that now. I'm just going to go and make sure that doesn't flap around on my little ball I'm trying to keep in the bush. So many finars. Just so I'm not wasting my time trying to dig out a little hole in the middle of there for where it should sit. But I've got what should be the right diameter to sit in the bush. I've got a little lip that I'm hoping I can push through, so it'll keep it in place, and then hopefully I can work out where in here I need to make my little ball set. Alright, let's give this a go. Okay, grab myself a little tool here. Come on, focus. To try and go in and make a little like ball section in here. That hopefully I can then press the gear change little bush into. Fingers crossed that this actually works. Let's give it a go. Okay, I'm going to have to concentrate on this. Catch you guys in a minute. Sometimes I amaze myself. It's pretty hard to see, but in there is the bush I made. And check it out, boys, it freaking works. Oh man, that's so good. It's like, there's a little bit of wee wobble in there, but you know, you can't pull it out, that's the main thing. Oh yeah, I can just bolt this other one back together now, oh my golden. That went way better than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting badness. Is it perfect? No. Considering it's my first go and it retains the ball joint, I am happy with that. That's definitely going to be a zillion times better than just nothing at all. Real hats. Right, let's move on. Well, I was all buoyed up about the first one, so I thought I'd try and make another one with a knot so it can fit over the shafts, but it was nearly there. I just appear to have mismeasured the internal dimension slightly, so it's too small to go over. I don't know if I should try and open it out now, whether I should just start again from scratch, but it goes to show how time consuming these bush things are, because doing a bit of, well, machining's probably overselling it slightly, mauling some nylon, because it's 10 o'clock and I really should be going home. But I'm going to give this one more go, I think, and see if I can super sketchy open it out in the lathe, because I really want to have my column shifts all sorted by the end of tonight, so let's have a go. Right, I had another go. Couldn't put it in the lathe because it kept popping itself out of out the chuck. So I dremeled it down, and it looks like it might be alright, you know. It's a little tight up the top of the travel, but I guess I'll have to see. Let's watch that. I guess I'll have to see what it's like when I get the gearbox on it. I can always, this one's really easy. This is the tight one. This one's really easy to change because it's just those two bolts. I don't have to dismantle the whole thing. I'm really pleased that the interior one's working great. But yeah, we'll see. Thursday night. Still sad I didn't get a bit more done last night, but that was something that needed doing, so it was worth spending the time on it if I don't have to do it again. Fingers crossed. I think today we're going to hit the gas tank filling area. I want to get those front dampers in, those new ones as well, just see how the front end feels. Whilst I'm under there, I should probably do the checking of UJ and diff oil, and then that's a whole load of stuff painted off, ticked off. So let's get cracking, no time for slacking. Okay, so a little bit of fun here, as you can see. Just replacing these dust boots because they're knackered. I totally went with my plan of doing the fuel tank, as you can tell. I haven't got any more to drop there yet, so that one will have to wait. But that one's been changed. It looks a bit schmeggy there. Hold on, let me... Come on, hand, you can find it. But the problem we got here is these things stop rotating by this... too close to the camera to zoom. Focus. By this split pin. But the split pin on this one just had seized completely in the hole. When I came to undo it, both ends just fell off. It's like, oh, okay. I've tried drifting it out, no dice. So, I'm going to have to go with the old trusty Makita. Fun, fun, fun. But, yeah. That's not looking too clever, is it? I'm sure it's fine. Power Makita, the hole is back. Let's give that a clean up on the threads, and let's put this all back together and down. So I'm tackling the boot now. Now this is the bit that looks way worse than it is. This has quite obviously been filled, where you can see the tide mark along here. Got filled up with water at some point in its life, probably through a leaky boot seal. And it looks awful, but it actually really is just surface rust for the most part, and a lot of the orange is just where the water's like deposited horrible rusty water everywhere. Still, I want to take the tank out because it's just full of shit. You can hear it all like rattling around in there, so that's not good. Plus, that filler neck is hard as heckins. All the vent tubing is pretty stiff, so plus I need to do some work on it so it'll work for injection. So I've got my axle stand for my third row of seats, and I'm going to get busy. Front's all buttoned up now, save the last couple of jobs. It does feel much better with those dampers in, so that's good, although it's highlighted how terrible the dampers are in the back, but they were just some I found on a shelf. Andy said, now that I know that they fit, Andy said I can borrow his nice Avo Manta shocks for the show at least. And if they work out good, I might just try and source us a pair of them. But yeah, right, let's crack on. Well, that's that emptied out. There is almost a full 20-litre jerry can's worth of 17-year-old fuel at the very earliest. So yeah, it doesn't smell much like petrol anymore, it's more like paint varnish. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this tank. You can tell it's had a bit of a life. That's all that off-road in Africa probably. Getting transported on a boat. A little bit concerned about what this is. Whether that's an old repair on a hull or what. But I mean, it was holding that 20 litres in quite successfully, so don't know. Guess we'll see. This is I'm hoping I can. I'll measure that actually and see what size that fuel line is, because if it is, then I might just go the lazy way of reusing that and feeding the return back in the vent. Otherwise, I'll put a bulkhead fitting in here. Get a new feed, get on the go, that'll be good. Onwards, onwards. That actually doesn't look too bad in there, does it? I think what I thought was a repair is actually what's supposed to be remnants of a drain plug. But for the most part, apart from the damage, there's a couple of little bubbles coming through. So at least it's not full of shit, but could well be, if any of those little rust holes pinhole are in trouble. I don't know, mixed bag. Anyway. It's a good job I took this fill off as well, because look, this is just, the more you touch it, the more you hear it cracking and breaking. So that sock for the pickup is dead. So I might whip that sock off and turn that into return. Well, there's not a lot of room on there to drill and put a tank connector in, but see how we do. I should probably check whether the fuel tank float works or not as well. But I can do that in a minute. Oh, I need to get some cork gasket paper.